annual SLAP challenge. SLAP, S-L-A-P, stands for squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. We are doing at least 40 squats, at least 40 lunges, at least 40 reps of an ab exercise, and at least 40 push-ups a day, every single day except Sundays for 40 days. And this is day 25. Can you believe it? That does not mean that it is too late to join the challenge, though. It's never too late to join the challenge. Of course, you don't have to do the entire challenge. If you just want to do today's workout with me, that would be wonderful. So there are timestamps in the description box down below the video. If you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you would like to hear a little bit about how the challenge works, where you can begin, how to participate, and if you would like to see today's exercises briefly demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So there's a playlist for this challenge that contains all of the workouts in chronological order. I will link the playlist up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and I will link it again at the very end of the video as well, just to make sure that you cannot miss it. So click on the link and save the playlist. Even if this is the first you're hearing about the challenge, you still don't know what it is or how it works, you don't know if you want to commit to doing it yet, just save the playlist anyway, so that when and if you decide you want to participate in the challenge, you have all of the workouts readily available and you just have to follow along with the playlist. It's super easy. Now, this is designed as a 40-day challenge. So if you want to go back and start the challenge on day one, fantastic. Just make sure that you start with your day one video on a Wednesday. Any random Wednesday will work, but the challenge is designed to start on a Wednesday. So just start with your day one workout on a Wednesday, and from there, all you have to do is follow along with the playlist. It is super easy to follow along. Everything will fall into place. Now, if you do not want to go back to day one and you want to just jump in and start today with day 25, I am not going to stop you. I would much rather have you do days 25 through 40 of the challenge with me than no days of the challenge. So if you're the one doing it, it's your challenge. You do it in whatever way works for you. So you can jump in and start with this workout and just do the last, 15 days of the challenge with me. That would be great. Now, if you are an absolute beginner, you may think that this 40-day challenge is out of your reach, but it's not. I promise you it is not. And last year, I went out of my way to prove that to you. So if you are an absolute beginner, I would like you to save the playlist from last year, and I will link that playlist up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and again on the end screen. It will be linked right on the screen at the very end of the video so that you cannot miss it. So last year was my 6th year in a row doing the challenge, and last year I went out of my way to make sure that the challenge was accessible to day one beginners. So if you are in terrible shape, if you don't own a single piece of fitness equipment, you've never done a workout before a day in your life, and you think you can't do a squat or a push-up, you think you can't do a fitness challenge with me, yes you can. Here's what I would like you to do. If you are an absolute beginner, click on the link in the iCard and save last year's playlist, the 6th annual SLAP challenge. Save that playlist. You don't have to commit to anything yet. You don't have to do a single squat. You don't have to do any push-ups yet. Just click on the link in the iCard, save the playlist from year 6, and then begin by watching that day one video. The day one video that I shared last year is going to explain everything there is to know about the challenge. It will answer all of your questions. I talked about the origins of the challenge, why I started doing this challenge for myself back in 2020, and what I was looking to accomplish with it and how it helped me. I also went into great detail about how to do your squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups with the correct form, and I provided tons of beginner modifications that I promise you can do. I also talked about some of the other aspects of this challenge, and I talked about ways that you can participate if it is too daunting to commit to a 40-day challenge. So for example, if you just want to do the first 20 days of the challenge with me, fantastic. If you just want to do the final 20 days of the challenge with me, you can do that. If you just want to do every other day of the challenge, great. If it's too difficult to do 160 reps every single day, then you can commit to doing 80 reps a day, or 40 reps a day, or 20 reps a day. Commit to what you can, okay? Figure out, be realistic, set a goal that's realistic for you, and commit to doing what you can. okay? But it starts with making that commitment, and I talked all about that in the year 1 video as well. It starts with removing that, I'll think about it, or maybe I'll do it, or I'll try to do it. As soon as you stop saying, I'll have a busy day tomorrow, but I'll try to find time to get started on it tomorrow. Or if I remember, I'll try to find time to do my day 1 reps I'll start it next week on a Wednesday. As soon as you stop saying, I'll try, maybe I'll do it, and you say, I can do this challenge and I'm going to do this challenge, it's really an amazing thing happens in your brain where you go from looking for excuses to looking for solutions. So instead of saying, well, I'll try to find time to do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow comes and you're super tired and you're super busy, and it's just, you've given yourself an out because you said, I'll try. Well, I was really busy, I just didn't have time. I tried, I didn't have time though, so it didn't happen. Whereas if you had said the day before, okay, I have a busy day tomorrow, but I am going to do this challenge, so I'll figure it out. I'll figure out how I'm going to squeeze in my reps. It's amazing because the next day, let's say you open up the video and you can't do automatically, right off the bat, you can't do the push-up variation I'm doing. Instead of saying, well, then I can't do it, you're going to start saying, okay, well, I can't do that push-up variation, but what can I do? How can I get my push-ups in today? How can I complete these reps? How can I stick with my commitment and see it through? And I talked about that more in the day 1 video that I shared last year. But just know that that is the most difficult step. That is the most difficult part of the challenge, is making that commitment. Removing the tries and the maybes and saying it out loud, I'm going to do this challenge. I promise you that once you do that, the rest is easy. I mean, it's a tough challenge. And yes, you have to work hard every day to get your reps done, but I promise you the most difficult part by far is making the commitment. So again, if you're an absolute beginner, here's what I would like you to do. Click on the link in the iCard, save the playlist from year 6 of the challenge, and start by watching that day 1 video. Once you have given me a chance to convince you that this challenge is for you, you can do it. As soon as you are ready to begin the challenge, it works exactly the same. So regardless of your fitness level, regardless of which playlist you're following along with, the challenge always works the same. It is always a 40-day challenge. It is always 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of abs, and 40 push-ups every day except Sundays for 40 days, and it always starts on a Wednesday. So when you are ready to begin the challenge, you're going to start with your day 1 workout on a Wednesday, and again, from there, all you have to do is just follow along with the playlist and everything will fall into place. I promise you it's super easy to follow along. And if you have any trouble, if you have questions along the way, I am right here. I do the challenge right along with you every year. So yeah, I'm sharing new workouts every year this year. But even if you're following along with last year's playlist because you're a beginner, I will still be here to guide you through the challenge. I'll still do all of those workouts with you. Even though I shot them last year, we can do them together. You can work out right along with the video. So if you have any questions about the challenge as you're going, if you have any questions about that day's workout, any doubts about how to do the exercises correctly, if you need help with modifications, you can comment on any one of the videos from last year and I will be here to help. Okay, so I'm not only just doing the workouts with you every day, I am also here to help guide you through the challenge. I am here to provide support and encouragement. I am here to help motivate you if you need help with that, and I'm here to answer any and all questions that you have. So again, if you are an absolute beginner and you need a baby bear challenge, you're going to follow along with last year's playlist. That was year 6 of the challenge. If you're following along with me this year, this is year 7 of the challenge, I'm going to assume that you are at more of an intermediate level. We are in our mama bear era this year. So the workouts we're doing this year are a bit tougher than the workouts we did last year. I'm adding difficulty to the exercises, and sometimes I'm doing more challenging variations of the exercises. And I'm going to assume that if you are following along with the workouts that I'm sharing this year, again, I'm assuming you're at more of an intermediate level, so I'm going to assume that you have access to a few basic pieces of fitness equipment, like at least an exercise mat and some dumbbells. If you don't, that's fine. You can still do these workouts right along with me because I will always be providing equipment-free substitutions. So you can still do these workouts with me if you don't have fitness equipment, or if you're traveling, you don't have access to your equipment. You can still do these workouts with me if you're an absolute beginner. I know not all beginners are automatically at the same level just because they're beginners. So you may be capable of doing these workouts with me this year, but it's also possible that you might need a little bit more instruction. So this year, I'm not going into as much detail explaining and demonstrating how to do the exercises with the correct form because again, this is our intermediate playlist, so I'm assuming that you already know how to do your squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups correctly. So again, as always, this goes for every workout off of this playlist, every workout on my channel. If ever you have any doubts about how to do the exercises correctly, if ever you need help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications beyond what I'm providing in the video, I'm always here to help. So please ask questions if you have them. But generally speaking, if you're an absolute beginner, you would be following along with the year 6 playlist. That was our baby bear challenge. This year, we are in our mama bear era. This is our intermediate playlist. If you are super advanced, then you are going to follow along with the papa bear challenge that we did in year 5. So year 5 of this challenge, those workouts that we did that year were much more advanced. They were a lot longer, they were a lot tougher. So first of all, we were frequently doing more than just 160 reps. The challenge is at least 40 squats, at least 40 lunges, at least 40 reps of abs, and at least 40 push-ups every single day except Sundays for 40 days. But we were frequently doing more than just those 160 reps in year 5 of the challenge. And of course, we were doing more challenging variations of those 4 exercises. And I was always looking for ways to increase the difficulty by adding jumps or by adding weight to the exercises, by doubling the reps. And we were also sometimes doing more than just squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. So we would be doing our at least 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of abs, and 40 push-ups. But in addition to that, sometimes we were doing exercises that weren't squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. I was also incorporating about 20 minutes or so of moderate paced cardio right into most of those workouts. So if you're in really good shape, you have excellent stamina, and you maybe have a little bit more time to dedicate to your workout every day, and you have access to, fitness equipment, and you're looking for workouts that are really going to challenge you, then I'm going to link the playlist for year 5 of the challenge up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and it will be linked on the end screen. So all 3 playlists, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, baby bear, mama bear, and papa bear, all 3 playlists for this challenge will be linked in the iCard. All 3 playlists will be linked in the description box down below the video, and all 3 playlists will be linked at the very end of the video. So if you're really advanced, especially, I recommend saving all 3 playlists so that way you can kind of bounce around between them. You do not have to stick with one playlist for the entire challenge. You don't even have to go in order through the playlist. So I am always incorporating my daily reps into a structured workout, and I share a new workout every day, and the workouts are labeled days 1 through 40. That's how I do the challenge, but you don't have to do it that way. Again, if you're the one doing it, it's your challenge. You do it in whatever way works for you. Literally, the only requirement to participate in this challenge is just that you're doing your 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of abs, and 40 push-ups every day. That's it. So however you want to get those reps done is absolutely fine. So let's say, for example, you're really advanced and you're capable of doing the really long, tough workouts that we did in year 5 of the challenge, but you're traveling. You don't have access to equipment. You're pressed for time. You're super busy that day. You only have like 10 minutes to squeeze your workout in, or you didn't sleep all the night before. You're tired. You're not feeling well, and you don't want to do a hour-long workout, but you still want to stick with the challenge and get your reps done. You can do the workouts from the playlist from year 6. Those are still great workouts. They're just much shorter, much simpler. You don't need any equipment to get them done. So they're a great option to have. Let's say you're traveling and you're staying in a hotel, you don't bring any fitness equipment with you, you don't want to go down to the gym at the hotel, or there's no gym at the hotel. If you're in really great shape, you are going to be able to do almost all of the workouts from year 6 of the challenge in under 10 minutes. I mean, if you're traveling because you're on vacation or something, you don't want to be spending your entire day working out, but you can still stick with the challenge. 10 minutes, get your 160 reps done, and then you can go sightseeing or whatever you have planned. So those workouts from year 6 are a great option to have. Also, if you are at an intermediate level, but on any given day, you check out the workout that I shared for that day and it's not working for you for whatever reason, you can absolutely choose any of the workouts off of the other playlists. So for example, today's day 25. Let's say you don't want to do the workout that I'm doing today for whatever reason. So you have a few options. Number one, if you want to go back and repeat a workout that we did earlier this year for the challenge, maybe you don't like today's workout, but there was one we did already on, say, day 15 that you loved, you can do that workout again, why not? Or if you open up the video that I'm sharing on a specific day and you don't have the equipment that I'm using, well, then you have a couple of options. You can choose another workout that we've already done this year and repeat it, or maybe you missed a day, you can go back and do that workout. Or you can check out what we did the year prior, especially if it's an issue where you don't have the equipment I'm using. I guarantee you we weren't using that equipment last year because last year I didn't use any fitness equipment at all for the entire challenge. Or let's say it's day 30 and you're feeling great, you're feeling strong, the challenge is working, you are getting stronger and you're ready to try something tougher. You open up the workout that I share on day 30 and you think, it's a great workout, but I really feel like I want to do more today. I have a little bit of extra time. I just got a new set of dumbbells and I'm really feeling strong. I'm really feeling myself improve and I want to really challenge myself and push myself hard today. Then you can do the day 30 workout from year 5 instead. But you don't have to do the day 30 workout. You could do any of the workouts off of the year 5 playlist. So you don't have to do the day 30 workout on day 30. You can choose any of the workouts off of any of these playlists on any given day of the challenge. As long as you're getting your reps done, that's all that matters. So you don't have to stick with one playlist. You don't have to go in order through the playlist. You don't have to do day 30 on day 30. You don't even have to do a workout off of these playlists at all. It doesn't even have to be off of my channel. You don't have to do one of my workouts. Any workout in the whole world that happens to contain at least 40 squats, at least 40 lunges, at least 40 reps of abs, and at least 40 push-ups will work. So any other workout you find on YouTube or anywhere else that meets that criteria will work. You can also write your own workout, why not? But you don't even have to do a structured workout. So if it's too difficult still to do all of your reps at the same time, or you just don't have time, or it's too much thinking, you don't want to have to like come up with a workout, you do not have to incorporate your reps into a workout. You can just spread them out throughout the day. So first thing in the morning, you can get up and do 10 squats, 10 lunges, 10 reps of any ab exercise you want, and 10 push-ups. It can be any variations of those 4 exercises you want, and then you can just repeat that 3 more times throughout your day. So you can do it again after lunch, do it again after you get home, once more before bed. There's your 160 reps. So again, as long as you're getting your reps done at some point during the day, and as long as you're doing them correctly, it doesn't matter how or when you do them. So this challenge is really, really flexible. I really wanted to make it approachable for anyone and everyone who wants to do it with me. So regardless of your fitness level, regardless of your access to equipment, regardless of your fitness knowledge, regardless of any time constraints you may have, this challenge is absolutely going to be flexible enough so that you can do it. You can find a way to fit in these 160 reps every day. So again, if you have any questions about how to do that, if you're unclear about how the challenge works, or what level you should be working at, which playlist you should be following along with, if you're having trouble finding any of the links, I'm here to help. So please ask questions if you have them. But that is enough about the challenge for today. Let's go ahead and get into the exercises that we are doing for this day 25 workout. So I am going to be starting with lunges today. So for your lunges, make sure that your shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight, your entire core should be engaged. You're going to start with your feet about shoulder width apart, and you're going to step 1 foot back, bend both knees, and come down into your lunge. So make sure that your front knee is more or less a 90-degree angle, meaning that your knee is more or less over the heel of your front foot as opposed to being out over the toes. And make sure you're controlling the movement, especially if your range of motion allows you to tap that back knee to the ground. I don't want you to bang your knee into the ground, so the movement should be under control regardless, but I just don't want anyone getting hurt. And then from here, we're going to do jump lunges. and I'm going to add an extra little jump. So if you're an absolute beginner, just know that what we're doing today is almost identical to what we did last year. So I'm going to recommend that you click away. I will link the day 25 workout from last year up here in the iCard, and it will also be linked in the description box down below the video. So it's essentially the same workout. You can stay here and work out with me today, but since it's the same workout, I'm going to recommend that you follow along with last year's video, because in that video I took things at a slower pace, and I was doing slightly easier versions of the exercises than what we're going to be doing today. And also I took a lot of time to explain and demonstrate how to do the exercises with the correct form, and I gave you beginner modifications. So if you need more instruction and if you need to see beginner modifications, then last year's video is going to be better for you, okay? But you're welcome to stay here. I'm not banishing you from this year's challenge if you're an absolute beginner, but you may need to be applying beginner modifications while you're working out with me and I'm doing something else, and you may have questions about how to do everything correctly. So please just make sure that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin, and ask for help with beginner modifications if you need them. But if you're sticking with me now, I'm going to pretty much assume that you know how to do the exercises correctly, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time explaining the proper form for these exercises, and I'm not going to provide beginner modifications. So what I'm going to do is step back with one foot and lunge, and then I'm going to jump up. I'm going to do a static lunge, jump up, so just jump up and land. And now I'm going to do a jump lunge. So I'm going to jump and switch the position of my feet so that I end up in a lunge with the opposite leg forward, okay? And we just did this exact same exercise last week, I think at some point. So from here, jump up and lunge jump, okay? So jump up, jump and switch the legs, jump up, jump and switch the legs. Okay, so you can eliminate the little jump up if you want. You can eliminate the lunge jump. So you could, instead of combining those, pick one or the other for your lunge variation. So you could step back and lunge and then just jump 1, 2, 3, 4. That can be your lunge variation. Or you can do jump lunges. Step back and lunge and then jump 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm going to be combining them. If you don't want to jump at all, you can just do reverse lunges. 1, 2, like that. Or you could do static lunges without the jump. So lunge and pulse, 1, 2, like that. So remember that any lunge variation you want to do is fine. And that goes for all of the exercises, squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. So if you want to stay here and do this workout with me today, but you don't like the lunge variation I'm doing, or you don't like the ab exercise I'm doing, or you can't do the push-up variation I'm doing, you can always just swap out that one exercise with a different variation. So again, as long as you're getting your reps done, that's fine. You can just stick with the same pattern, the same format that I'm doing, and plug in whatever variations of the exercises work for you. But that is my lunge variation. So I'm going to be doing a static lunge jump up and then a jump lunge. That's 1 rep. Moving on to squats, I'm going to be doing a prisoner squat. Should we add a jump? Maybe not. Might be too much jumping. We'll see. But just make sure whatever squat variation you're doing that you are minding your form. So I always like to think about tucking my shoulder blades into my back pockets so that my shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight. And then before I squat, I like to think of this as a hip hinge. So pushing the booty back like you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. At the same time, remember, those shoulder blades are tucked into the back pockets, shoulders are back and down, keeping that chest lifted high. So at the same time, you're trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. Also think about trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest so that your spine is elongated. You want your back flat and all of the weight in your heels. Do you see I can actually pick up my toes? From here is where you can sink down into your squat and then press your heels into the ground to stand. So that's just a basic air squat. You can do air squats if you want. Remember, you can do any squat variation you want. I'm going to be doing a prisoner squat. So all that means is that I'm going to have my hands clasped behind my head, as I come down into my squat, and then let's jump, why not? I'm going to, instead of standing, I'm just going to do a jump up, and then I'm going to add a little knee lift with an oblique twist. So I'm going to shift my weight into one foot, pick up the other foot, bend the knee, and I'm twisting my body thoracically, bringing opposite elbow to knee. And that's one rep. We'll alternate sides for the oblique knee crunch on with each rep. Okay, so for my next rep, hands are clasped behind the head. I'm gonna squat down, jump up, shift my weight into the opposite foot, pick up the other knee, and twist my body thoracically, bringing opposite elbow to knee. Squat and jump, oblique knee tuck, squat and jump, oblique knee tuck on the other side. Okay, so next I'm going to be doing push-ups. I'm going to be doing what I call commando push-ups, which is not push-ups without wearing any underwear, but I mean, underwear is optional, I guess. But I've seen these called other things, but when I say commando push-ups, this is what I mean. I mean, we're starting all the way down on our belly. So coming down onto your mat so that you're all the way down on your belly, pick up the hands, pick up the feet. Now from here, you're going to do your push-up. So put your hands on the mat, curl your toes under, and now you're going to push yourself up, but you're going to be careful not to kind of snake up, so you're not pushing your chest up first, and then your belly, and then your hips. The goal is to keep your body in one perfectly straight line so that as you push yourself up, you're pushing your entire body up at once. And as you lower yourself down to the mat, same thing. What you're not doing is lowering first your hips, and then your belly, and then your chest. You want to keep your body in one straight line. So from here, lift the hands up the feet. Now hands down, curl the toes under. The goal is to push yourself up while keeping your body in one perfectly straight line. So pushing your entire body up at the same time. And then as you come down, you're lowering your entire body down at the same time. Okay, so make sure that whatever push-up variation you choose, your head is in line with your spine. Make sure your shoulders are away from your ears and you're keeping your back flat. So maintaining integrity in that plank pose the whole time. You want your body in one straight line from your heels to your shoulders the whole time, okay? So spread out all 10 fingers, place your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Coming up into your plank pose, make sure you're not allowing your head to droop down like this, so your head is in line with your spine. Your shoulders are away from your ears, so you're not sinking down into your shoulders. Press the ground away from you, push yourself up nice and high. In your plank pose, shoulders are away from the ears and your back is flat. So if your hips or your belly are drooping down towards the mat like this, causing an arch in your back, you're going to tighten up your abs, use your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them lifted high. So make sure that you keep your body in one perfectly straight line the entire time. And then for the commando push-up, you're lowering your entire body all the way down so that you're flat on your belly, picking up the hands, picking up the feet, pushing yourself up in one straight line. Now, last year, we added a knee tuck. So I'm doing something a little different this year. I'm doing a more advanced version of push-ups. This is the push-up variation that we did in year 5 of the challenge. So this is the push-up variation we did in year 5 of the challenge. I'll show you in just a second, but let me show you the easier version that we did last year first. So coming down onto the mat, pick up the hands, pick up the feet. Now push yourself up, and then you're going to tuck one knee in towards your chest. So pick up the foot, drive the knee forward towards your chest. Return to your plank pose, that's 1 rep. So coming back down, pick up the hands, pick up the feet. Now push yourself up, tuck the opposite knee in towards your chest. Okay, so that's 1, 2. All right, I am going to be doing a supergirl. So we're doing supergirl commando push-ups. So instead of the knee tuck, after I do my push-up and I'm in my plank pose, I'm going to lift one arm and extend it out in front, and I'm going to pick up the opposite foot and extend the leg behind me and hold there for just a second. So picking up one hand and extending the arm out in front of you, picking up the opposite foot and hold here just for a second, okay? And I'm going to alternate sides for my supergirl plank with each rep. So instead of the knee tuck, I'm doing that. How long to hold it there? Just until you feel like the movement is really under control and you could stay there longer if you wanted to, okay? You know, it's not like you have to hold it for, you know, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. It's not a set amount of time, but the goal is just to hold it until you have control of the movement, you feel balanced, and you feel like you could hold it longer if you want to, okay? So whatever that feels like to you. But you want the movement to be under control. You're not just, you know, throwing the hand up, throwing the foot up. Okay, you want to be able to really feel like, okay, I've got this. I could stay here if I wanted to. As soon as you have that sensation, you can go into your next rep, okay? So it's going to look like this. Starting your plank pose, you're going to lower your entire body down to the mat in one straight line. Pick up the hands, pick up the feet. Now, hands down, curl the toes under, push yourself up in one straight line, and then extend one arm out in front of you, extend the opposite leg behind you. Now back to your plank pose, another commando push-up, and a supergirl on the other side, okay? So it's a lot tougher. If it's too difficult, just do the knee tucks. And you don't have to do the knee tucks at all. If you don't want to, you don't have to do commando push-ups if you don't want to. Any push-up variation is fine, but I am going to be doing supergirl commando push-ups. And then all that's left is abs, right? We've done squats and lunges and push-ups. So moving on to abs. This is the same ab exercise we did last year, and actually the same one we did in year 5 as well. Super simple, just a single leg toe touch. So I'm down here on my mat. I'm going to lift one leg, starting with my legs straight, my arms extended overhead. I'm going to lift one leg, keeping the leg more or less straight. And as I do that, I'm going to sit up and reach up, tap the toes with the hand on the opposite side, and then return to my starting position. Switch or alternating sides with each rep. So now lifting the other leg straight up, sitting up and reaching up to tap the toes with the hand on the opposite side. Return to my starting position. Just like that. It's okay if your leg is not perfectly straight. It's fine if there's a soft bend to your knee, but the point is that I'm keeping my leg more or less straight. I'm not deliberately bending the knee, and it's not a crunch. You can do a crunch if you want. You could do like bicycles or something. That would be fine. Any ab exercise you want to do is fine, but what I'm doing is just lifting the legs straight up, reaching up to tap the toes with the hand on the opposite side. Okay, and that's it. That's all for exercises. So now here's the format. We have done this format before. I love this format because everything just flows together, and to me, it just makes the workout feel good. It makes it dynamic, and it makes it kind of go by quickly. Although with these variations of lunges and squats back to back, I'm going to be crying. My quads are going to be crying. But really, we're just doing 8 reps of each exercise, and that's one set. So we're going to do 5 sets. But the way we're doing it is we're starting towards one end of the mat, and we're going to travel towards the other end of the mat. So each time you travel from one end of the mat to the other is one set, and then you'll start here, travel back. Okay, so we'll do that 5 times. So we're going to be doing 8 reps of everything, but everything except abs is going to be split up into 4 and 4. So we're starting with lunges. We're going to do 4 lunges. Now make sure that you are stepping back with the foot that's closest to the middle of your mat, so that the foot that's towards the end of the mat is always forward, just to make sure that you're working both sides evenly. So I'm starting with the foot that's closest to the mat, picking that foot up and stepping back. And now I'm going to come down into my lunge. I'm going to jump, do a static lunge jump, and jump and switch the legs. That's 1 rep. So I'm going to do 4 reps of lunges that way. Then I'm going to do 4 squats. So I'm doing a prisoner squat with a jump up plus an oblique twist, alternating sides with each rep. I'll do 4 squats. Then I'll come down onto my mat and do 4 push-ups. I'm doing commando push-ups, commando supergirl push-ups, 4 reps. Then I'm going to roll over, and I'm going to do 8 reps of abs. So abs are right here in the middle, so they're the only thing that's not getting split up. So remember, you're counting 4 lunges, 4 squats, 4 push-ups, and then remember to do 8 reps of abs. So whatever ab exercise you're doing, you'll do 8 reps. Then you'll continue traveling towards the side of the mat. So roll over again, and then you're going to go back to push-ups. So it's like a mirror image of what we just did. push-ups, and then you'll stand. You'll do 4 more squats, 4 more lunges, making sure that you're stepping back with the opposite foot. So now this foot is closest to the middle of my mat. This is the foot that steps back. The foot that's closest to the outside edge of my mat is forward. So I'll do 4 more lunges, and that completes round 1. Then I'm gonna stay right here and do another 4 lunges to start round 2. So it's gonna seem like I'm doing 8 lunges, but really it's 4 and then another 4, which I know is 8, but you know what I'm saying. So it's 4 lunges to end round 1, and then you'll immediately do another 4 lunges to start round 2, 4 squats, 4 push-ups, 4 reps of abs, and then again, 4 push-ups, then stand, 4 squats, 4 lunges, that's round 2, and then another 4 lunges to start round 3, okay? So we're just going to complete 5 rounds of the circuit that way, and that's our 160 reps. That's our 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of abs, and 40 push-ups. So hopefully that is all clear. Please remember that I do always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video. And of course, I'm going to do the entire workout right along with you. So watch me do it, read the instructions. But then of course, as always, if anything is unclear about the format and how it all fits together, if you have any questions about the exercises that we are doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any help with beginner modifications, I'm always here to help. So please ask questions if you have them. It is incredibly important that you understand what it is that you are asking your body to do. You have to understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout, and you have to apply that knowledge during the workout and actually do the reps correctly so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. This workout's going to be pretty short, so we want to really maximize the effectiveness of it, and you do that by executing each and every rep with the best form you can possibly manage. So make sure that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout. And hopefully you guys know that it is equally as important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So I am always here to help facilitate that. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. I also want to remind you, especially if you are going to be working out along with the video, to please make sure that you are going at your own pace and mind your form. Do not sacrifice your form for speed. So if you're in really good shape, you are definitely going to be faster than I am, and that's wonderful. Be faster than I am, just as long as you are not losing anything off of your form to get there. But if you're racing to stay ahead of me because you're competing with me and you just want to beat my score, or because you set a really ambitious time goal for yourself that you're chasing and your form starts to get sloppy, that means you need to slow down. It is always going to be safer and more effective to slow down and do your reps with good form than it is to race through and allow your form to get sloppy. I also do not want you racing to keep up with me. If you are slower than I am, wonderful. Be slower than I am. And I do mean wonderful, because you would not even know that you were slower than I am unless you got dressed and you got your little booty out here and you were doing these reps with me today. So don't worry about how fast you're going. Worry that you are executing the reps with good form. So please do not race to keep up with me. If you are racing to keep up with me and your form starts to get sloppy, then you need to slow down. If you fall behind, either just because you are working at a slower pace than I am, or because you're finding that you need to take rest breaks where I'm not taking them, or you're just needing longer rest breaks than the ones I'm taking, that's fine. Just pause the video. I'm not going anywhere. Come back when you're ready and we'll finish the workout together. I do want you to challenge yourself to keep your rest breaks as short as you can, but they should be as long as you need. You should only resume the workout once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form. So please go at your own pace and mind your form. Do not sacrifice your form for speed. And please make sure that you are working to your own level. So if all of the jumping is too much for you, eliminate it. If you need to hold on to something for support for your lunges, hold on to something for support. If you need to shorten up your range of motion on the squats, shorten up your range of motion. If you need to switch to a different push-up variation, if you need to do the push-ups from your knees, that is what you should do. If you need rest breaks, take them. Okay, it's really important that you are not pushing your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. So please be smart, be safe, use your common sense, listen to your body and make the decision that is best for you, and just do your best. Please remember that your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. Hopefully I have covered everything. I feel like I usually do a lot more talking than this, but maybe I just found a way to be succinct for once in my life. Who knows? I probably missed a bunch of stuff. So if you have questions, let me know, but I'm hoping I covered everything. If you're ready to go ahead and begin the workout, make sure that you have something soft beneath you for this one, definitely. So an exercise mat or a yoga mat is ideal, but if you don't have a mat, a towel really should suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. And then pause the video, go get dressed. Meet me right back here. We're going to start with a quick little 5-minute warm up, and then we will get right into our day 25 reps. So as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm up. You're going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. So your arm is completely relaxed. You're not pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. You're just using gravity to do all of the work of gently stretching the opposite side of your neck by simply using the weight of your arm to do so. So now we're going to do the other side. Let go with your hand, allow your head to fall towards the opposite shoulder. Place your other hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Your arm is completely relaxed. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed as well. They should be down away from your ears. Next, we're going to do some head rolls. So you're going to let go with your hand and start by allowing your chin to fall first towards your chest and then towards the opposite shoulder and back. And each time you roll your head from one shoulder to the other, just start feeling your head getting heavier and heavier as you allow your range of motion to increase until finally your entire torso is just kind of spilling in front of you. Your arms are nice and loose like a rag doll. Next, we're going to do some shoulder rolls. So you can roll your shoulders towards the back or towards the front. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that you're exploring your full range of motion here. So make the circles as big as you can. Next, we're going to do arm circles. So you're going to extend your arms straight out to the sides and start by just making small circles, either towards the back or towards the front. It doesn't matter. But as the interval progresses, you're going to start making your circles bigger and bigger until finally you are exploring your full range of motion, making those circles as big as you possibly can. Now step your feet out so that they are a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Bend your knees and sweep your arms in front of you, and as you straighten your legs to stand, you're reaching up as high as you can. Each time you bend your knees, allow your range of motion to increase, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Now keep your feet planted right where they are. Again, they should be wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to lunge side to side, nice and easy. Now add the arms. So now with each lunge, I'm just reaching my arm across my body. It's like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Next, we're going to march in place. So step the feet in and march, starting with your knees low. But as the interval progresses, you're going to start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you possibly can. Really get them up here, feel a nice little stretch in your glutes, and now we're going to jog in place. Same thing, knees are low to start, but gradually as the interval progresses, you're going to start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Next is booty kicks, so keep jogging, but now with each step, you're bringing your foot behind you. Really try to kick yourself in the booty cheek with your heel. For this next one, if you struggle with balance, you can hold onto the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch for support. If not, hands on the hips is fine. Transfer your weight into one foot, pick up the other foot, and just swing the leg front and back. Nice and loose. Just waking up those hip flexors, Now we're going to do the other leg. So you'll put this foot down, transfer your weight again, pick up the opposite foot, and swing the leg front and back. You can start low, and then as the interval progresses, if it feels comfortable and you want to, you can start expanding your range of motion, swinging that leg higher and higher. Now extend one foot out in front of you and just bring the leg around and behind. Each time you make this semicircle with your leg, you're lifting your leg higher and higher. And we're going to finish with 2 hip circles. So driving the knee up towards your chest, and then use your hand to guide it around. Other leg. Extend the leg out in front. Bring the leg around and behind, lifting the leg higher and higher each time you make that semicircle. And now 2 hip circles. Drive the knee up towards your chest. Use your hand to guide it around. Finishing with a hamstring stretch, so feet wide apart. Hinge at the hips and forward fold. If you want to use the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch, it might make it a bit easier getting into this stretch. You really want to do your best to keep your back as flat as possible so that you isolate your hamstrings more effectively. So using the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch to assist you can make it a little bit more comfortable. It makes it easier to keep your back flat, and it might make the stretch a little bit more accessible to you. That's our 5 minutes. I always just like to spend a few extra seconds in this hamstring stretch because the backs of my legs are really tight most days, and I just need a few extra seconds for my body to start to be able to kind of relax into it. So my 5-minute warm-up is usually about 5.5 minutes, but that's it, warm-up's done. So let's go ahead and get right into the workout. You're starting with lunges, and I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So stepping back with the inside foot, come down into your lunge. Now jump up, jump and switch the legs. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right into squats. So clasping your hands behind the head. Squat and jump. Now lift one leg, twist and bring opposite knee to elbow, other side. That's 2, 3, and 4. Supergirl commando push-ups. So all the way down on the belly. Push yourself up, Supergirl, back down, Supergirl on the other side. That's 2, 3, and 4. Roll over. Now 8 reps of abs. So lift one leg, lift the opposite arm to tap the toes, alternating sides with each rep. So that's 4. Should we double these? Let's double them. Let's do 8 on each side. So that would be 5, 6, 7, and 8. Just because we're in our mama bear era this year. And mama bears are tough. All right, 4 more Supergirl commando push-ups. So push up, lift one arm, opposite leg, and back down. Other side. That's 2, 3, and 4. Now jump or step the feet in, back to squats. So squat and jump, oblique knee crunch. That's 2, 3, and 4. Now finishing up with 4 lunges. So stepping back with the inside foot, lunge and jump, jump lunge. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's round 1. Now, round 2, we're starting here, and we're going to travel to the other side of the mat. So stay right where you are. We're going to do another 4 lunges. So this is the beginning of round 2. So jump up, Jump lunge, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now squats. Push-ups. You see the flow of it now? 4 push-ups. Roll over. 8 reps of abs. I'm doing 8 reps on each side. It's up to you. You don't have to double them if you don't want to. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can move on, or you can double them with me. 4 more double counted. So that's 5, 6, 7, and 8. Roll over. 4 more push-ups. Jump or step the feet in. 4 squats. And 4 lunges. Always stepping back with the inside foot. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's round 2. So we have to do 3 more rounds. I've talked us through the first 2 rounds. So I'm gonna zip it so I can conserve some energy. I want it to start flowing a little better. So I'm gonna stop talking so I can try to pick up the pace a little bit. So as soon as you're ready, here we go, round 3. Okay, I know all the jumping is hard, but this is our 5th and final round. Let's push. Abs are done. 4 more commando push-ups. Final 4 squats. And final 4 lunges. That's round 5. So that's our 160 reps. Nicely done. That was a tough little workout. Took me 12 minutes and 5 seconds. If you timed yourself and you feel comfortable doing so, go ahead and comment with your score. Let me know how long it took you. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete, and especially no workout during this challenge is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. The bonus burpee is mandatory. You must do a bonus burpee, and your bonus burpee must be the last thing that you do because it's what completes the workout. So it's the exclamation point at the end of the workout. It's a little celebration that we got our reps done, a pat on the back for sticking with the challenge another day, and it's that final slap across Brutus's trash-talking mouth. And if you don't know who Brutus is, that is another question that will be answered in the day 1 video from last year's challenge. Brutus is a huge part of this challenge, so if you're curious about why we are slapping him every day with our squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups, you have to watch that day 1 video from last year. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. This is our final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete, so let's do a quick cool down together. You just want to keep moving while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit and while you allow your breathing to normalize, so you can pace around back and forth, shake out the legs a little bit, shake out the arms. Let's do a shoulder stretch. So bring one arm across your body, use your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Make sure that your straight arm is completely relaxed, and make sure that your shoulder is completely relaxed. If your shoulder is tense and hunched up by your ear, you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively. And this is a really nice stretch after all those push-ups. So relax the arm, relax the shoulder, and make sure you keep moving while we're doing these stretches. So you can see I'm kind of just shaking out my legs. If you're still breathing really heavily, you can pace if that feels better for you. You can even just shift your weight from foot to foot. Just keep moving though, and keep focusing on slowing down your breathing. And you do that by really feeling your diaphragm being pulled down as you inhale. Allow your entire rib cage to expand Breathe all the way down to your belly button and visualize filling up your entire torso with air. And then use your diaphragm to control the air as you exhale. Let's get the other shoulder, so bringing the opposite arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Your straight arm is completely relaxed and your shoulder is completely relaxed. Feel that nice stretch in your shoulder. Make sure that you're moving. So again, you can pace, you can shake out the legs, you can just shift your weight from foot to foot. Just keep the circulation going and keep focusing on your breathing. So let's take one more really nice deep breath here. So feel your diaphragm being pulled down. Inhale, breathing all the way down to your belly button. Allow your rib cage to expand, filling up your entire torso with air, and then using the diaphragm to control the air as you exhale. Shake it out. Let's do a tricep stretch next, because this one also feels great after all those push-ups. So bend one elbow, and place your hand on your elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, but make sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. You want to avoid having your free hand hanging out up here somewhere by your shoulder. So point those fingers straight down at the ground as you gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, so you get that really nice stretch in your triceps. Keep moving. You can see I'm just kind of shifting my weight from foot to foot at this point, but again, you can shake out the legs, you can pace, whatever feels good to you, and keep breathing. Come out, get the other side. So bend your other elbow, place your hand on the elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, making sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. Feel that really nice stretch in your triceps. Keep moving and keep focusing on slowing down your breathing. So let's take another nice deep breath here. Feel the diaphragm being pulled down. As you inhale all the way down to your belly button, make sure you're using your diaphragm to control the air as you exhale. One more deep breath here, because I just love this stretch so much. Nice, and come out. We're going to finish with a quad stretch. So if you struggle with balance, you can hold on to the wall or some other strong, sturdy, stable, elevated surface for support, maybe your kitchen counter, dining room table, the arm of your couch. You're going to bend one knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side if you're holding on to something for support. If you are not holding on to anything for support, you can reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. And now press your heel into your booty cheek. And as you are doing that, I want you to tilt your pelvis forward. So think about tucking your booty underneath you and trying to touch your spine with your belly button. Make sure that you're doing both of those things at the same time. So as you're tilting your pelvis forward, keep pressing your heel into your booty cheek. As soon as you combine both of those two elements at the same time, you're going to feel that stretch intensify in your quads as you isolate them more effectively, but I also want you to feel the stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexors. So coming out, shake out the legs. Let's get the other side, so bending the other knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side if you're holding on to something for support. Again, if you're not holding on to anything for support, you can reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands. Press your heel into your booty cheek, really press it in there, and as you're doing that, tilt the pelvis forward. Tuck that booty underneath you and suck your belly button all the way back to your spine. As you're doing that, make sure you're continuing to press your heel into your booty cheek. And as you are pressing your heel into your booty cheek, make sure you're continuing to tilt your pelvis forward. Keep mindfully doing both of those things. Feel that stretch intensify in your quad muscles, and feel that stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexors. One more nice deep breath here. Inhaling all the way down to your belly button. Fill up your entire torso with air. And control the air as you exhale. Come out one last time. Shake out the legs, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, swing the arms a little bit. And that's it. That's our little cool down. So now I'm moving directly onto cardio. I have Rebecca here with me today. Rebecca is my adorable black jump rope with these cute little white skulls on the handles. If you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, there is a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So click on the link and use coupon code Rebecca to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. I am going to set my interval timer for 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals times 40 rounds. That's 20 minutes. I'm going to get some music going and I'm going to do my cardio, 20 minutes of moderate paced cardio with my jump rope, and then immediately I'll go into my stretching routine. I'll spend about 20-30 minutes on my stretching, and then I'll have my shower, eat some lunch, and get on with the rest of my day. Now, the additional cardio is not required. It is not officially part of the challenge, but it's the way I do the challenge. Every year since like year 2 or 3 of the challenge, I like to add on 20 or 30 minutes or more of moderate paced cardio after every single workout. So 9 times out of 10 for me, that's 20 minutes of interval jump rope, but every once in a while I might decide to go for a jog. If it's a nice day out and I have time, I'll go for a nice long hike. So those are all great options, but you could go for a bike ride if you have a bike, or if you have an exercise bike or a treadmill or an elliptical or Stairmaster or something like that, you could hop on one of those for 20-30 minutes or more if you want and you have the time. If you have access to a pool, or if you live close to a body of water and the weather is permitting, swimming is amazing cardio. But if you have a heavy bag, you could work on your heavy bag. If you have steps in your home or your apartment complex, you could do up and down the steps. Or if you took your workout to the beach or the park or the hiking trail today, anywhere there's steps, you could do up and down the steps. That's always a great option. If you have access to the field at your local high school, you could do up and down the bleachers. Or you could jog around the track, you could combine them. You could even just do like a fitness class if that's something you enjoyed, or you could meet a friend in the park and play some tennis or some basketball. 20 to 30 minutes or more of moderate paced cardio, any way you want to get it done is fine. And again, it's not required to do the cardio, but if you are looking to use this challenge to get yourself in shape, if you are trying to improve your stamina, and if you're maybe trying to lose weight, the additional cardio is really going to help to accelerate that process for you, and that means you're going to start to see results faster. And that's really encouraging, because when you can see that all of the hard work you're putting in is working, and you can see that you are starting to get closer to your goals, it's going to make it a lot easier to find the motivation to stick with the challenge. And also, once you start seeing those results and you start getting stronger and your stamina starts improving, then that means that the workouts themselves are starting to get easier, most likely. So that is also going to help keep you motivated, because if you know that the workouts are not going to be as difficult, they're not going to take you as long as they did for the first week or 2 of the challenge, it's going to be easier to find the motivation to get your reps done every day. So I like to do the additional cardio after every single workout, and I know that is not realistic for everyone. I know not everyone's schedule allows for that, but I strongly recommend that you can find at least 2 or 3 days a week where you can tack on the extra cardio. More if you can, but 2 or 3 days a week minimum. I strongly recommend that you find the time to do that, because I just know that if you can do that, you are going to be so much happier with your results on day 40, and I want everyone to be happy with their results. So once more, the additional cardio is not required. It is not mandatory. It is not technically officially part of the challenge, but it's the way I do the challenge, and it is strongly recommended. Also very strongly recommended is that you would take at least 20 or 30 minutes each day to stretch. So immediately after the workout or immediately after your cardio, if you're adding on cardio, is going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done, because your muscles are already nice and warm from the workout. But if you don't have time to do your stretching now, that's fine. It doesn't matter what time of day you do your stretching, just as long as you're getting it done. It's really important to make sure that you're taking the time to stretch every day, because it is going to help to alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after the workouts. It's also going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward, and of course it's going to improve your flexibility. And all 3 of those things are important on their own, but they're especially important if you're doing the challenge with me. So first of all, if you are doing this challenge and daily exercise is something new to you, then it's very likely that you are experiencing muscle soreness. So taking the time to stretch every day is going to help to alleviate some of that. And that is especially important if you're doing the challenge with me, because if we do a workout that is so tough that the next day you can't even move, it's going to be next to impossible to find the motivation to get your reps done that day. But if you had taken the time to stretch after the workout the day before, then you would be more likely to say to yourself, okay, I'm not 100%, I'm still a little sore, but I can move. And I really want to stick with the challenge, so I'm going to get my reps done today. So that is one way that you can kind of stack the deck in your favor and increase the likelihood that you are able to stick with the challenge. Number 2, taking the time to stretch every day is going to help to reduce your risk of injury moving forward. That obviously is incredibly important if you're doing this challenge, because one of the main reasons we're doing this challenge is to establish a habit of daily exercise, and you accomplish that through consistent effort. That is why we are working out 6 days in a row every single week, Monday through Saturday, every week. That is how you establish that habit. So if you become injured, you're going to have to miss a few days while you allow your body to recover. So all of that momentum you've been working so hard to build is going to come to a screeching halt, and it's going to make it really difficult to establish that habit of daily exercise. The goal, of course, is to do all 40 days of the challenge without ever missing a day, so that by day 40, you will have firmly established that habit of daily exercise. And so after the challenge, you will continue to make daily exercise a part of your routine. So if you have to miss a few days, then it's going to make it a lot harder to establish that habit, and you're not going to be able to get everything out of the challenge that I want you to get out of it. Plus, it can be really discouraging. So if you get injured and you have to miss a few days, it's really easy to fall into this mindset of feeling like, well, I failed. I wanted to do the challenge from day 1 to day 40, but I got hurt, so I had to miss a few days, so I failed. And from there, it's just really easy to just give up and not rejoin the challenge. And that is just the antithesis of everything this challenge is about. Injuries happen, okay? Taking the time to stretch every day will help to mitigate that risk, but nothing's going to guarantee that you won't get injured. So if you do get injured and you have to miss a few days, that doesn't mean, okay, fine, you failed. You failed at the challenge. You wanted to do all 40 days and you didn't do all 40 days, fine. By definition of the word failure, that's a failure, but it's not an indictment of you as a human being, and it doesn't mean that you can't rejoin the challenge and complete as many days as you can. So it's really important that paradigm shift and battling that negative self-talk and changing your mindset is a huge part of this challenge. So you still want to do everything you can to reduce your risk of getting injured, but I understand that injuries happen. So of course, if you need to sit out a few days, that is what you should do. But the 2 most important things that you can do to, again, help stack the deck in your favor by reducing your risk of injury so that you're increasing the chances that you are able to successfully complete all 40 days of the challenge. The 2 most important things you can do to accomplish that is, number 1, minding your form, doing the exercises correctly during the workout, and number 2, taking the time to stretch every day. Taking the time to stretch every day means that you're training your muscles to be generally more pliable, they're going to be more resilient, you're going to increase your range of motion, and it lessens the likelihood that you're going to strain something or pull a muscle during one of the workouts. And number 3, taking the time to stretch every day is, of course, going to improve your flexibility. So why is that extra important if you're doing this challenge with me? Well, because there's so many things that this challenge encompasses, and I want this challenge to be as kind of well-rounded as possible. It is a physical health challenge, it is a mental health challenge, and taking the time to stretch every day to improve your flexibility is a really important part of this, because if you are taking the time every day to do these 160 slap reps with me, you're doing your 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of abs, and 40 push-ups every single day to build strength. And if you are adding on 20 or 30 minutes of moderate paced cardio after the workouts at least 2 or 3 days a week to improve your stamina, why not take 20 or 30 minutes every day to stretch so that you improve your flexibility while you're at it? Flexibility is a really important aspect of your overall fitness level that I think tends to be overlooked sometimes and maybe undervalued. But it's especially important as you age. It's going to help you stay mobile, and that's really, really important as you age. And as far as I know, we're all aging, right? We're all in the same boat. I don't know anyone who's getting younger. So you'll thank your future self if you take the time to prioritize your flexibility now. So make sure that you're not neglecting your stretching. It's really important to do your stretching every day, whether or not you're doing the challenge, but it's especially important if you're doing this challenge with me. Just make sure that you are stretching safely. So again, it is fine if you put off your stretching until later on in the day. Just remember that if you do that, your muscles will have gotten cold again, so you will need to take a few minutes to warm them back up before you begin stretching. You never want to jump into your stretching routine with cold muscles, because your muscles need to be warm in order for them to be pliable so that you can stretch them safely and effectively. But that is officially a wrap on day 25. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did this day 25 workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been doing the challenge with me, whether you started on day 1 and finished on day 20, or whether you started on day 21 and you're doing the final 20 days of the challenge with me, whether you're doing every other day of the challenge, or whether you're doing all 40 days with me. Thank you to everyone who is doing this challenge with me, and please let me know. I like to have an idea of how many people are joining me for the challenge each year, but even if you're not doing the challenge, thank you for doing today's workout with me. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately, and even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything was unclear about the format of today's workout, how everything fits together, if you have any questions about how to do the exercises we were doing today with the correct form, or if you need help with beginner modifications, if you have any questions about the challenge itself, how it works, where to begin, what level you should be working at, if you're having trouble accessing any of the links, I am always here to help. So please ask questions if you have them. And if you know anyone who might be interested in joining the challenge, please remember that it is not too late to join. It is never too late to join. So if you have someone in your life that has been looking to start home workouts and they're an absolute beginner, they don't know where to start, send them the link for last year's playlist. Or if you know someone who's really advanced and they're looking for a workout challenge that's really going to push them, send them the playlist from year 5. But please feel free to share, because the more people I have doing the challenge with me each year, the happier I am. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all right back here tomorrow for day 26. Bye.